because the struggle is real, but the hustle is fattening. Did I just eat that out loud? Hello, Sue.
Well, hello, Margo. How are you on the whole other side of the country?
It's pretty good over here. The heat of summer has broken, at least for today. So yeah, it's so nice out, finally.
We don't have that yet. We had it for a minute and then it came back. It's well into the 90s today and tomorrow. So, blech.
Yeah, blech.
Well, aside from that, I'm calling you with a question.
Oh, what's that?
As usual.
I can't imagine what it could be.
I know, but it's burning. Margo?
Yes?
Did I just eat that out loud?
Yes.
I did?
You did. Yeah,
I
you
thought I
did.
kept that one quiet. Mm-hmm. I did. I thought I kept that one quiet. Have you eaten anything out loud in the last couple days?
I'm continuing my taco truck
Extravaganza?
experiment, yes, on Instagram and Twitter, and y'all can follow me there. It's 30 taco trucks in 30 days. Taco trucks on every corner. It's been surprisingly, it's weird because you would think I'd be sick of them by now.
Mm-hmm.
But what's happening, I'm finding, is that I immediately, when I wake up in the morning, I start thinking, ooh, when am I having my taco?
Yeah, well, probably for dual reasons. They're delicious.
They're delicious.
And you don't have to cook it yourself.
That is true. And
Yeah.
at least here in San Diego, a taco truck taco is, first of all, you only need one. They're generally not fried. So you get them on a soft corn tortilla, which was probably made less than an hour before. They're super fresh. And a taco at any taco truck is not going to run you, it's maximum, even the fanciest, most gourmet one is maybe $3.
Oh my gosh, shut your mouth.
So it's super cheap too. So it hasn't broken the bank, and it hasn't busted my belt.
The Wilson, North Carolina taco trucks that are also known as Taco Bell.
Oh,
because we have one taco truck here, so we've hit it a few times.
I don't think I've ever eaten at a Taco Bell.
Shut up.
Ever.
Well,
yeah. I find their "make a run for a border" slogan slightly disturbing.
Well,
so
I'm sure, and I know that you keep me keep my eyes open to things that I should notice on my own. But I didn't know you in high school when I could skip fifth hour with my friends and go and eat a pile of tacos and burritos for like 48 cents.
Probably,
back in the 90s, it was cheap, and yeah, it was awesome. Yeah.
So what are we talking about today? Today's episode 6, which is in Star Wars terms, it's the one with the Ewoks.
We're gonna have to come up with something after this is over that I can relate to, like the Bridget Jones trilogy.
The Bridget Jones trilogy, yes. Which I'm so looking forward to the new one. I can't wait.
I'm so excited about the new one.
Oh, I can't wait.
I am. Well, when I was browsing things yesterday and today to talk about, I ran across an article about the fact that, back up, there was a woman who was a Playboy playmate who snapped a picture of somebody in the gym. And whether or not she intended to make the photo and the message public, it was public.
Yeah.
And the woman, the subject of the photo, has been found.
I didn't see this.
Yes, she has been found and is investigating her options as to
pressing charges and so on.
Pressing charges, what charges can be pressed. I have recently become a gym member again. I am not a gym employee currently. I am a gym member. And when I went back into this gym after a few years of being out of it, I've now noticed the signs around the gym with rules dictating cell phone use. And it
Mm-hmm.
isn't just talking on your cell phone anymore. It's selfies, it's pictures,
Yeah,
it's
it's the
videos, it's
camera.
snaps, whatever, the
Yeah.
camera. And so this has kind of been in my mind. I mean, I document pretty much everything I do. And I don't, of course, do it at the expense of somebody else, I
Right.
think. But years ago, when I was still on a BlackBerry Pearl,
I had a BlackBerry Pearl. I was
I loved it. I was so excited about that stupid rollerball.
Me
Oh my
too.
gosh. I didn't snap pictures and things like that and then put them right up to Facebook or whatever. But I did blog. I did write
Yeah.
about many of the experiences I had um, in the gym and in
Mm-hmm.
classes and whatever in my town or whatever. And so it's just interesting to me about privacy and um, technology and in this environment. I mean, I don't know how many people are going to disagree with the fact that what this playmate did was wrong. She did it in what I think is a
Right.
very mean-spirited way and
Well,
things like that.
I don't think that can even be argued. I think,
Right.
yeah.
But even beyond that, even before I could really snap anything but a grainy little, you know, 4 megapixel
Mm.
picture with my BlackBerry Pearl, I wrote about what happened in those classes.
Right. Right.
So let's talk about that. Like, what, and I've said and believe um, that a lot of what has kind of slowed my writing down on mrsfatass.com has been the fact that I am now no longer anonymous here.
Right.
Right? So if I'm
Yeah.
writing about
Yeah.
something, people could come see it and
Right.
recognize themselves in it. So how do we talk and get those experiences out and share it, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and not end up like the Playboy playmate? I, that's an extreme, but you know what I
That is an
mean. The play.
extreme, but I know I see what you're saying, and personally, what I do is I'm not above like changing the circumstances of the story to get the
Yeah,
point of the story across. The
yeah.
setting, or
Mhm.
who said the thing, with, if it was a woman, I might say it was a man, or
Mhm.
you know, to make the point, because I want to share it for a reason.
Right.
So that's generally what I do. I do try to be sensitive um to that, but yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
One of our fellow bloggers, and I'm not going to name her, I don't want to reveal her, but somebody that lots of people who are fit bloggers will probably know, said to me one time when I asked her this similar type of question, like, how do I keep sharing my experiences now that I'm kind of out in the open? I'm not
Mhm.
anonymous anymore. And she said, people typically won't recognize themselves. Like, if you're writing really honestly
Yeah.
about a situation,
I
they're
think that's true.
probably not going to recognize themselves.
I think that's absolutely true. You just reminded me, I recently, and I went back and forth about whether or not to write this piece or not. But I recently reported a friend. I
Mm-hmm.
reported a friend to Facebook,
Mm.
um,
Mhm.
because they had posted something that was extremely offensive.
Wow.
Um, And so, there's a little thing on there when people do that. For those of
Uh-huh.
you who don't know, there's a little box that you can tick to report it.
Yep.
If somebody, I had somebody one time report basically a threat against an elected official. I
Mhm.
reported it. Um,
But
I'm not like the nosy. I'm not like Mrs. Kravitz on Bewitched or something. I mean, I for those of
Mhm.
you old enough to get that reference. But this was beyond the pale, and
Yeah.
it was having to do with the Target bathroom policy. And
Ah.
so I
Hey,
reported
welcome
them.
to North Carolina, where that,
Yeah.
yes.
So I
Yeah.
reported them, and then somehow I felt like it wasn't enough. So
Mhm.
so I wrote a post. I wrote like an open letter on my blog and saying, like,
Mhm.
look, here's why I reported you. This is, why this is really wrong and really offensive. Obviously, you don't think it is. But here I'm going to just kind of lay it out for you why it was so offensive, and that's why I reported it. And I don't believe this person. If they recognize themselves, I don't know about it. I'm still friends with them. So yeah. So I think that's true.
Well, I know not everybody who listens to us is a writer or a blogger or a sharer of these experiences. So I don't expect everybody to be super connected to this issue. And again, I think that most of us can, if not all of us, can really agree that snapping a picture of somebody and saying something not so nice about them and then posting it, and like nobody's going to say that what this person did was right. But for those of us that do write and share and have people who connect to it, it's important, I think, that a certain amount of authenticity remains. Right?
Yeah.
And so, to find ways to honor and respect the privacy issues, but still be able to write with authenticity. But for example, I have written at length about the issues I have with my beehole.
Wow.
And then
we haven't talked about this. Yes.
And then have come face to face with many people who have treated beehole either in their offices or in my classes, and, whatever. Like, it's important, I think, people who are readers appreciate the candor of those of us who are sharers.
Right.
But that being said, there's a line. So at what, where's the line where you give up too much? You infringe on somebody else's privacy by sharing your experience. It's nothing new to writers or bloggers.
No. But it is new for people who aren't writers or bloggers who are in social media and perhaps are oversharing.
Yes.
I have somebody in my life who, actually more than one person, now that I think about it, more than one person who shared that their significant other was cheating on them. And then that they were leaving that person, and then that they were going back with that person.
Sorry, friend. We all hate that person.
Right.
So choose your own adventure. No.
But
go back.
but it does kind of bring up you just made me think. So I didn't know that they had found the person who was in the photo.
Yes. It's a recent. I think I read it for the first time yesterday.
Okay.
And you and I don't share what we're going to talk about ahead of time.
So no, we don't. You. So and I remember one of the part of the uproar about this whole scandal, if you want to call it that, was that this person was in a gym making time for themselves, taking care of themselves, looking after their fitness and their health, and
just taking a shower after the workout.
Right. And here, like pretty much everybody's worst nightmare, there's a photo of them being posted all over the world. And it makes me wonder because, again, working with people who are losing weight and working with people who are trying to get fit themselves, I encounter a lot of people, and again, I was one of these people too, a lot of the people who don't feel comfortable sharing that they're perhaps trying to lose weight or perhaps trying to get fit, and they don't, they sort of keep it a secret from the people in their lives.
Yes. For various reasons,
for various reasons.
There's so many reasons, and that's a whole other topic for a whole other day, probably. But yes.
But I think if you were wondering about it, like this would just totally drive you in the opposite direction, like something like this. Oh my gosh. And people who are afraid to go to the gym because they're afraid that people are judging them.
It's every single reason why people don't open that gym door, that front door, because whether they are or not, they feel like they're going to be judged.
Yeah.
And then, insult to injury, this particular person doing the judging was a Playboy playmate.
Aye.
Yeah. Well, I have to say this. I'm glad they found the woman because that was the
Me
first
too.
person I thought of. Who is that woman in the photo?
Right.
And how is she going to respond to this?
Yeah.
Because, you see when something like this happens, lots of open letters from X to Y.
Yes.
But I was really interested in who the woman really was because I've been the woman in the shower. I am familiar with that feeling. I am the big personal trainer that sometimes on site people think, what are you going to teach me
Mm-hmm.
about what I'm here to do? Like, I
Right.
get it. I get
Mm-hmm.
that. And so I was very curious about her right from the start. Um, Not so curious about the person who posted the photo or
No.
whatever, but more curious about that woman. And I'm interested to see how, even more than I'm interested in a lawsuit or things like that, just how she'll come out and respond
Yeah, what is she gonna
personally
do with
to
this
what happened. What's
experience?
she gonna say? And yeah,
Yeah.
what's she gonna do with this platform she's been handed? Not everybody wants to be handed a platform to go
No.
out. And so if she says nothing, I will not fault her.
Right. No, me
But
either.
but I'm just interested to see what happens next, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I was looking at. That's what I ate out loud this week. That woman was found. Mhm.
Yeah, I'm surprised
Yeah.
I didn't see that because I've been following that story so
Mhm.
closely. Um, there was something else I was going to ask you about. Oh, well, I don't know if we have time.
Mhm.
We talked about television last time.
Yes.
We talked about My Big Fat Fabulous Life.
Yes.
But I was just wondering, because we've never
Mhm.
discussed it,
Mhm.
and we have several friends who have attempted
Mhm.
to get
Oh.
on The
Mhm.
Biggest
Okay.
Loser.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what are your thoughts? First of all, my thought for all and we won't name who they are, but we have several people that we both know that have tried out for this show. Um,
That have tried out for the show, that have made the show,
yeah,
that have survived the show, that have fabulous things to say about the show, that have not so fabulous things to say about the show.
exactly. What do you think of the show?
I My first thought always when I watched the show was, well, if I had nothing to do but like go to this ranch and focus on working out and eating healthy and all that, I'd be able to do that too. Okay, I don't know if you know this, Margo, and I don't know how many seasons ago it was, but we have somebody who lives right here in Wilson, North Carolina, who was on the show.
Oh, that's right.
We do, right from this very town. Not even like, oh, I'm from Raleigh and they're from Cary. No, no, no.
Right,
Wilson,
from
North
Wilson.
Carolina. And the very gym that I go to and work out in every day, he worked out in. And the group
Oh,
fitness director from this very gym that I work out in trained him when he was supposed to be training at home.
right.
And for a moment in time, he taught a class once or twice a week or whatever, the Biggest Loser class. Um, and so it's like it's something to talk. It's been
Wow.
something to talk about here. About the show itself, I never really. I think that the faster it comes off, the faster it comes back on.
And that's been my personal experience too. I've
Yeah.
lost my weight 3 times, and
Yes.
it came back twice. Yeah.
I would love it if The Biggest Loser was about teaching people to lose a lot of weight in their real lives, not when they're
Mm-hmm.
working out for 4 or 5 or 6 hours a day, because most people have jobs and families and lives and whatever. And I don't know what has happened to the person who
In your
was
town.
on the show
Huh.
that is from my town. But I do know his class is no longer on this schedule.
Uh-huh. Which doesn't necessarily mean it just
Right.
right.
I
Yeah.
know they're no longer promoting him in town as come work out with the Wilson's Biggest Loser.
Uh-huh.
Um, I thought the show was fantabulous until I met somebody, and this was years ago, probably 5 years ago. I met somebody who was at an event, and I don't remember all the details, but long story short, he was at an event where Biggest Loser contestants were there as part of the workout. Whether I don't know,
Uh-huh.
maybe it was a 5K or a half marathon or something like that. And he was all into the show, and he used to be a blogger with us too. Um, and he was into the show until he saw at this particular event uh, the crowd reacting so negatively to the contestants, which kind
Oh.
of blew me away. Like, why would you react negatively to the contestants? Like,
Huh.
they're trying to get their stuff handled.
Right, yeah.
Why are you? Um, and so that got me, on the Google machine and looking for posts or comments or this and that about sort of the underbelly of the Biggest Loser. And so even before I was a trainer or even just a fitness instructor, like way back in the beginning, started looking for information about sort of the underbelly of the Biggest Loser, and then finding out how hard it is on the body,
Yes.
the damage that rapid
Correct.
weight loss
Yes.
can do.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Yes.
Can blow
And
out
so
your
now,
kidneys, all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
yes. And so now my general comment on the show is that I think the Biggest Loser would be fantabulous if these people were not put on the ranch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If they were losing weight in the midst of their real lives, I think it would be a real benefit.
Right. And that's my issue with it, because I don't think they're interested in benefiting anybody.
No, except
I will go
pocketbooks.
one step further and say that I believe, and I've said this before on my blog and in other places, I believe that the Biggest Loser is weight loss porn.
I agree. Yes, I haven't heard it that way, but now I will refer to it as such.
It's a show for people to watch and watch fat people struggle and fail or succeed, but only because they were on a treadmill till they threw up.
Yeah.
I used to watch the show when I first originally watched the show back when it started. I was heavy myself. I was probably almost heavy enough to get on the show myself. And I've never learned one practical thing
No.
from The Biggest Loser. They put them through these humiliating challenges, like what you're supposed to teach them what exactly? I don't know. Like crossing a bubblegum swamp, or I mean, it's just these stupid things, and the product placement and it is.
Did you watch the first season?
I believe I did.
Did it start that way?
It would, yeah, it pretty much did.
I know 100% I didn't watch it in the beginning.
I would say it devolved, but
did it devolve?
There was an element, there was quite a lot of element of that. They used to have, in the first season, if I recall, and maybe I might be wrong, but they used to have where they would eliminate people, and they had like a serving tray with the platter with the cover on it, like because people like to eat, and they had like vending machines in the background with people's names on them, and your vending machine would go dark. I think that's how like a dessert face. I mean, it's weight loss porn. It is porn.
Wow.
It has no value whatsoever. And I'm really super not a fan. And our friends who did not get on the show, I'm always like, whew.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you didn't go through that. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
But I have also met people who have been on the show and have great things to say about it. So
I didn't say I had those.
I have met people. I have met people here in California. I don't know them very well, but I've met them. Because again, I live in Southern California, and so you run into these people who in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
And so I've met people who were contestants on the show who have parlayed it into a fitness career of some kind or another. And so for that, they're very positive and grateful for the experience. But not a fan.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
I divorced the show officially whenever that was, at Jillian Michaels last season, when that one girl came out at the end and was so did not look so healthy.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah, I was there.
I was like, oh, okay, I'm out.
On a side note, that I watched Jillian Michaels' show on E! A few episodes.
I have barely seen it. I don't know when it's on.
I don't know if it's even still on,
Mm.
but I liked her. Like as a person, like I think she may have gotten caught up in the machine.
Oh yeah, I don't fault the
And then
trainers.
yeah, and then
No.
well, I'm not gonna say I don't fault all of the
Mm.
trainers,
Well, yeah, but I think the
but I
trainers genuinely. I mean,
want to help people.
I do think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I more fault
And I
the
enjoyed it.
production.
Yeah, I didn't see every single episode of her show or whatever, but I saw a couple of them that enough to see. I was like, oh, I kind of like her.
Hmm.
I
I like
kind of
her
like her, and I always
podcast.
thought I always thought she was kind of smart about fitness too.
Hmm.
Something that I say to my clients because I teach now or I train in a lot of 30 to 45-minute increments,
Uh
and
huh.
30 if they warm up and cool themselves down, and 45 if I'm doing it with them. And
Right.
I remember her in the shred saying, we've got 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Why would you not go 100% for 30 minutes?
Hmm.
Like, we're not doing this for longer. If you're
Yeah.
doing 30 minutes of your day, I'm not giving you a modification for this because you need to just flip and do it. And I was like, yeah. I mean, I give like I'm a mod, but you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the thought that you work toward that. Absolutely. If I only have 30 minutes a day to do this, then I'm going to go balls to the wall. Can I say balls
I think we
on
can
our
say that.
podcast?
I
All
think
right.
we can. You're not talking
Yeah.
about kicking anyone's or
Right.
cutting them
Right.
off or anything.
No. But yeah, I always kind of liked that about her, that she's, after the drama of the show, when you saw her just being her in her own element,
Yeah.
I liked it.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not again, and we were talking last week about My Big Fat Fabulous Life. Where that I think I think that is actually helpful to people, that show.
Mhm.
Um, and even though she's not, she didn't drop 140 pounds in 6 weeks
Right.
or whatever. Um, it's a much more grounded perspective,
Yes.
I find.
Yes.
Even though it's still television and all that. Yeah, I'm
Right.
surprised the show is still on. Biggest Loser.
Mhm.
I'm surprised that they still
For
air it.
real.
Yeah.
I am too. I am too. But it's like that about a lot of the extreme shows. And I
Yeah.
know this is out of our realm, but do you remember back? Do you remember a show called Trading Spaces?
Oh yeah.
So that was kind of an extreme show that is,
Yep.
and now we have Extreme Makeover and things like that. But you could read about the underbelly of Trading
Yeah.
Spaces. As popular as it was, that
Yeah.
was that was remodeling that happened in 3 days,
Right.
basically, Friday,
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday.
Yep.
Well, what huge major change that happens in fast forward ends up being solid,
Right.
right?
Right.
Not very many.
Not very
So the
many,
people
unless
in
it's
Trading
something.
Spaces were complaining about the particle board and this and
Yeah.
that. Well, that's kind of the same thing, isn't it? As somebody being taken out of their reality and put into
Yeah.
this vacuum.
Yeah. I don't understand. Like you again, as somebody who's had this issue all her
Mhm.
life,
Mhm.
and I know, I didn't not having the tools. The problem was I didn't understand. I didn't have the right tools for me.
Right.
It wasn't that I didn't understand that celery was good for me.
Uh-huh.
It was that I didn't have the right tools for me. And it took me a few tries of learning,
Yeah. Yeah.
and but instead of like trying to actually give people the tools that they need, because they obviously, are wanting some help.
Mhm.
Instead, we're going to just put you in this other situation and just like
Right.
for television, we're just going to
Right.
like make you run till you throw up and scream in your face and give you a tiny chicken leg to eat for 3 days.
Right.
And I mean, I
Exactly.
don't
It's
get it.
ridiculous.
I
It's
don't
ridiculous.
understand the point of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's. And then I was really angry when they involved children.
Oh,
Like, oh,
yes.
we're so concerned about America's youth. Yeah, that made me. That was the other thing that like, just I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm out. I'm out with this.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
yeah, I know
Too much.
too much, and now it's time to go.
And now it's time to go. Well, I enjoyed our conversation once again.
I did
As
too.
always,
I did
I love
too.
hearing Sometimes we agree and sometimes we don't, and I love them both the same.
Yes.
Because I always learn something from you.
And I learned from you.
So when people who listen to our show and love it, if they want to find you, where do they find you?
Well, they can find me at notyourmamasblog.com. That's the blog. And then my website, which is my fitness and nutrition and weight loss type stuff, is at margoporras.com. And my social media handles all across the board are at She's Not Your Mama.
Sweet. I'm going to go look at all your stuff. Oh, wait, and I'm going to tell people about mine.
Yeah.
I am, my blog, mrsfatass.com, MRSFATASS. mrsfatass.com is my blog where I really kind of write the ins and outs of my life as a mom and a wife and a fitness person. If you are a client of mine or ever decide to become a client of mine, I have another website, and that is fullfigurefit.com. Please come find me at Facebook, Sue O'Lear. It'll say in parentheses, Full Figure Fit. And my favorite piece of social media right now is Instagram. I'm really enjoying Instagram, Sue O'Lear, Full Figure Fit.
And you can find us at Did I Just Eat That Out Loud on everywhere, at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And we have and our email address, if you would like to email us, is didijusteatthatoutlloud@gmail.com. And
if you like the way we talk about things and you'd like us to talk about something specific, please let us know.
Please tell us. Tell us. Yeah. And we will be back soon.
Good to talk to you as always.
Good to talk to you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Stop trying to make thigh gap happen. It's not going to happen. Did I just eat that out loud?